NEC Article 400.7 prohibits Class 1 line voltage cables from being installed in walls, ceilings, or floors unless they are enclosed in a raceway or armature. Article 400.8 prohibits Class 2 and 3 low voltage cables from being installed in the same raceway as Class 1 cables. According to the Seagull Lighting website, the LV Cable 9373-12 is a Class 2 low voltage cable. Based on the NEC and Seagull Lighting's classification, the LV Cable 9373-12 is not a line voltage cable and is therefore not subject to Article 400.7. Since the cable is Class 2, it can be installed in walls, ceilings, or floors without the need for a raceway. It's likely that the state electrical inspector's claim is based on a misunderstanding of the NEC. Article 400.7 applies to line voltage cables, not low voltage cables. It is recommended to request a written response from Seagull Lighting confirming that the LV Cable 9373-12 is under ITER's laboratories listed for Class 2 low voltage applications and that it is not subject to Article 400.7. Based on the available information, the installation appears to be compliant with the NEC. However, it is recommended to obtain written confirmation from Seagull Lighting to address the state electrical inspector's concerns and obtain a final electrical inspection. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards that govern electrical installations. Its purpose is to ensure the safety of people and property by providing guidelines for electrical wiring, equipment, and systems. It is important to understand the NEC to ensure compliance and avoid potential hazards. Article 400 specifically addresses flexible cords and cables, outlining their permitted uses, restrictions, and installation requirements. It's crucial to be familiar with this article when working with any type of flexible cord or cable. Class 1 circuits are power and lighting circuits operating at line voltage, typically 120 volts, 208 volts, 240 volts, 277 volts, or 480 volts. These circuits require specific wiring methods and protection due to the higher voltage and potential for shock hazards. Class 2 and Class 3 circuits are low voltage circuits that are limited in both voltage and current. Class 2 circuits typically operate at 30 volts alternating current or 60 volts direct current or less, while Class 3 circuits operate at higher voltage and current levels but still within defined safety limits. These low voltage circuits are generally considered safer than Class 1 circuits and have less stringent wiring requirements. A raceway is an enclosed channel designed to hold wires, cables, or busbars. Raceways provide physical protection and support for conductors, and they can be made of metal or non-metallic materials. Common types of raceways include conduit, electrical metallic tubing or EMT, and cable trays. The term armature in this context refers to a flexible metal covering or shield that provides mechanical protection for a cable. Armored cables, such as Type AC or Type MC cable, have a metallic sheath that protects the conductors from physical damage. When working with electrical installations, it is important to properly identify the type of cable being used. Cables are typically marked with their voltage rating, conductor size, and other relevant information. Refer to the cable's markings and manufacturer's specifications to ensure it is suitable for the intended application. Underwriters Laboratories, or UL, is an independent organization that tests and certifies products for safety. UL listing indicates that a product has been tested and meets certain safety standards. When selecting electrical cables and equipment, it is generally recommended to choose products that are UL listed. When an electrical inspector raises a concern about an installation, it's important to address their concerns in a professional and cooperative manner. Provide documentation and explanations to support your installation methods, and be willing to discuss alternative solutions if necessary. If the inspector's interpretation of the NEC differs from your understanding, it may be helpful to seek clarification from a qualified electrical engineer or other expert. In conclusion, understanding the NEC and properly classifying electrical cables are essential for ensuring safe and compliant installations. When in doubt, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer to ensure that your work meets all applicable requirements. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity, and follow all applicable codes and regulations. To reiterate, Article 400.7 specifically addresses the use of flexible cords and cables, not the installation of low-voltage wiring within walls and ceilings. The inspector's concern seems to stem from a misunderstanding of the cable type and applicable code sections. Article 300 provides the general requirements for wiring methods and materials. Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring. Article 725 addresses Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 remote control, signaling, and power limited circuits. It is essential to properly classify the wiring system to determine the applicable code requirements. The Seagull Lighting LV Cable 9373-12 is identified as a Class 2 low-voltage cable. Class 2 circuits are considered inherently safe due to their limited voltage and current. As a result, the NEC allows for less restrictive wiring methods for Class 2 circuits compared to Class 1 circuits. Specifically, Section 725.135 permits Class 2 and Class 3 cables to be installed in a variety of ways, including within walls, ceilings, and floors, without the need for conduit or other raceways. However, there are some limitations. For example, the cable must be supported in accordance with Section 300.4, and it must not be subject to physical damage. Additionally, Class 2 and Class 3 cables must be separated from Class 1 circuits as required by Section 725.136. Section 300.4d addresses protection against physical damage. It requires cables and raceways to be protected from damage where they pass through floor, walls, or partitions. This protection can be provided by using sleeves, grommets, or other approved methods. Section 725.136 addresses separation from other circuits. It requires Class 2 and Class 3 conductors to be separated from Class 1 conductors by a barrier or by maintaining a minimum spacing of 2 inches. This separation is intended to prevent the high voltage of the Class 1 circuit from being inadvertently impressed upon the Class 2 or Class 3 circuit. In summary, the Seagull Lighting LV Cable 9373-12, being a Class 2 low-voltage cable, is permitted to be installed within walls and ceilings without conduit, provided it is supported, protected from physical damage, and separated from Class 1 circuits as required by the NEC. To resolve the disagreement with the electrical inspector, it is recommended to take the following steps. Firstly, obtain documentation from Seagull Lighting confirming that the LV Cable 9373-12 is UL listed as the Class 2 low-voltage cable. This documentation should clearly state that the cable meets the requirements for Class 2 circuits and is suitable for installation within walls and ceilings without conduit. Secondly, review the applicable sections of the NEC with the inspector. Point out that Section 725.135 permits Class 2 and Class 3 cables to be installed without conduit, and emphasize that the cable meets the requirements for Class 2 circuits. Thirdly, provide the inspector with documentation showing how the cable is supported, protected from physical damage, and separated from Class 1 circuits in accordance with the NEC. If the inspector remains unconvinced, consider contacting the local electrical authority for clarification. The local electrical authority can provide an interpretation of the NEC and help resolve any disagreements. In addition to the specific code requirements, it is important to follow good electrical practices when installing any wiring system. This includes using the correct tools and equipment, making proper connections, and testing the system to ensure it is safe and functioning correctly. Always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical wiring. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Make sure all connections are tight and secure. Support cables properly to prevent strain on the connections. Test the system after installation to ensure it is working correctly. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your electrical installations are safe and compliant with the NEC. To further clarify, the NEC defines Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 circuits based on their voltage and current limitations, as well as their power source characteristics. These classifications determine the permissible wiring methods and safety requirements for each type of circuit. Class 1 circuits operate at higher voltage and current levels and are considered more hazardous than Class 2 and Class 3 circuits. Therefore, Class 1 circuits require more stringent wiring methods and protection measures. Class 2 and Class 3 circuits, on the other hand, are designed to be inherently safe due to their limited voltage and current. As a result, the NEC allows for less restrictive wiring methods for these circuits. The specific voltage and current limits for Class 2 and Class 3 circuits are defined in Article 725 of the NEC. These limits are based on extensive testing and analysis to ensure that the circuits do not pose a significant risk of electric shock or fire. When installing Class 2 or Class 3 wiring, it is important to select cables and equipment that are specifically listed for these applications. These cables and equipment have been tested and certified to meet the safety requirements for Class 2 and Class 3 circuits. It is also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and use. In addition to the NEC, there may be local codes and regulations that apply to electrical installations. It is important to check with the local electrical authority to ensure that your work complies with all applicable requirements. The local electrical authority can also provide guidance and interpretation of the NEC. They can help resolve any questions or disagreements about code compliance. In summary, understanding the NEC and following good electrical practices are essential for ensuring safe and compliant electrical installations. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity, and consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any questions or concerns. Remember that the information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer before undertaking any electrical work. The NEC is a complex and constantly evolving document, and it is important to stay up to date on the latest requirements. The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, publishes the NEC, and it is updated every 3 years. You can purchase a copy of the NEC from the NFPA or from other retailers. You can also access the NEC online through various subscription services. In addition to the NEC, there are other resources available to help you understand and comply with electrical codes. These resources include textbooks, training courses, and online forums. Many electrical contractors and engineers offer training courses on the NEC. These courses can provide you with a more in-depth understanding of the code and its requirements. Online forums can be a valuable resource for asking questions and getting advice from other electrical professionals. However, be sure to verify the accuracy of any information you find online, as not all sources are reliable. When working with electricity, it is always better to be safe than sorry. If you are unsure about any aspect of an electrical installation, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer. They can provide you with the expert guidance you need to ensure that your work is safe and compliant. Do not attempt to perform electrical work if you are not qualified to do so. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to have the necessary training and experience to do it safely. Hiring a qualified electrician is always the best option when you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself. A qualified electrician will have the knowledge, skills, and experience to do the job safely and correctly. They will also be familiar with the NEC and other applicable codes and regulations. In addition to ensuring safety, hiring a qualified electrician can also save you time and money in the long run. A qualified electrician can diagnose and repair electrical problems quickly and efficiently. They can also help you avoid costly mistakes. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their qualifications and experience. Ask for references and check their license and insurance. A reputable electrician will be happy to provide you with this information. In conclusion, electrical safety is paramount. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity, and consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any questions or concerns. The NEC is a valuable resource for understanding and complying with electrical codes, but it is not a substitute for professional advice.